don't tip it because I'm thinking, okay, it's in there, but
Yeah, it's pretty stable.
For Canada's newcomers, the process of gradually becoming Canadian is a spiritual journey.
Carlos, would you say the grace for the meal, please?
Thank you, God, because after almost 10 years, we are all gathered together, and I think because we are still alive.
It is a journey that is supported by the faith communities across the country who try to ensure that there will be happy endings to difficult stories.
In the name of Jesus.
Amen. This is an extremely significant moment for them spiritually, this period of their lives, because they're going through such a process of evaluating their lives and what's important and what isn't. It's a real moment of faith or doubt. It's like their lives are cast upon God. They're just so lost, and they so need to be saved. For the ones who've been raped and tortured or had their families killed, they absolutely need salvation.
What you tell the kids is that we are together. You just console them that as long as we are together, everything is going to be fine. You see, it's hard to talk about everything. Even with your kids, you know, some of them have faced so much trauma. Like in some countries, like where I come from, when somebody is raped, that person is like an outcast. You know, how are you going to talk to that person and what are you going to tell him? But gradually, when you settle in this country, you learn that there are places where you can go and seek help, you know.
They're suffering an awful lot of trauma and deep loss and absolutely no control over the future, which in a sense are all realities that many Canadians are feeling more and more. Who of us, none of us knows what's going to happen in the future, but they carry it with a certain hope. And when I hear somebody able to laugh, or women with their children, and it gives me hope. It makes me want to continue to work for justice, just step by step. It's a very, very slow process.
I think for the refugees themselves, one of the hardest realities is they're kind of out of the loop. They're not really a part of the system, and they don't know how to become a part of the system. There are all kinds of ordinary daily tasks, informations, ways of dealing with things every day that they have not learned yet when they first come.
There are many cultural gaps. Language, education, customs, how we behave, our attitudes to people, the food, the weather, how we dress, signals we give that give a wrong message. One friend who came from South Africa described us as human doings, not human beings, that we never had time for people. And she now has acclimatized, shall we say, and she has her agenda book and she's busy, busy, busy.
People in the third world country, though they're poor and they work very hard, they still have time to sit down and share with each other. And it's interesting how the people who come and ask me to sponsor for them, they'll say, he's my brother. I say, you have the same father. We grew up in the same house. You know, like, they're not really related at all, but they grew up together. They knew each other all through their childhood, so he's my brother. One of the things that bothers me is that when they come to Canada, they try to become Canadian and they lose some of that. They lose, you know, the things that are so beautiful about them, yeah. As they try to become Canadian, become aggressive and get ahead and succeed and earn money, and they have 2 jobs and 3 jobs in no time.
They integrate. The ones I know live responsibly, act responsibly, are rather self-conscious about trying to play the game of life by our rules, publicly speaking. I mean, they're law-abiding, they're hard-working, they make it a matter of personal pride to do well, to achieve what they set out to do, not to hurt other people as far as they're aware. So, you know, in many ways, our experience is that new Canadians, as we sometimes call them, want to contribute something to a society of which they say it's given us so much. And the truth is that we've usually given them less than they're giving us credit for.
When I came, I didn't have even a suit to wear. I had a broken shoe. I didn't have anything. But the fact is that something happened that I'm not in want.
Next line.
The people who have come here, some of them, I remember, you know, the kind of agony they were going through. But 2 years later, I meet them. My goodness, they are quite well off and doing everything successfully. And their children are doing very well. All their children are getting very high marks. And if you look at all those little stories of success, of learning, of studies, of jobs, of creating their own things, oh my God, it's God is working in people.